Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna Thiesel, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television, video, and podcast talk show. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning at 2 p.m. on the Eastern Time Zone as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. I look forward to spending so much time with you throughout the week. You can continue finding us on television. That's channel 182 on Charter Communications, and it really tickled to be part of that network again. That's in the state of Alabama, but you can also find us nationwide, and that's on Abundance Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast on thenewscasters.com and all the social media sites. Over there is on all of that as well. But appreciate you watching. Continue sending email, Donna@donnasedge.com. Donna@donnasedge.com. So we are living in the Greenwood, South Carolina area. And something I've really noticed about this area is taxes are low on home and rentals, all of those things. And taxes are lower all the way around. And we're in a very conservative part of the country right here. So a lot of folks are moving from other parts of the country into South Carolina. But one area I wanted to mention to you, first of all, a lot of folks want to think about renting a place instead of buying when they first move into a new area. And I highly recommend that, especially if you've not been through, maybe you're taking a job promotion, being transferred, or you just plain old want to live into a good conservative part of the United States. This is a good one. But renting a property is something that's easier to do. You can do it on a 1 year, 6-month basis, just whatever works for you. But I went on ahead and did an interview with my friend Kim Coffey, and she is part of a management. It's actually a rental management called Town and Country. I highly suggest you get in contact with her because she really knows her stuff. So I did a couple of videos with her recently, and I wanted to get those out there to you, where we're talking about, just questions that you normally ask. And one of those is what makes a good rental company? I will say this, we do have some rental property here where on the house, the property that we bought, you couldn't ask for better renters. I mean, these folks are absolutely fabulous. In fact, we're all friends now. And so, it's just, they're part of our community, and we appreciate this. They upkeep the property. We've done this before, did not have the success we're having now. I'll just say that. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and put Kim Coffey in so you can hear a few questions I asked her and her responses to these questions. I'm pretty sure you're going to really love this interview. So you just hang in there, okay? We'll have Kim right now. Okay, folks, I have been wanting to talk to you about property. If you are a person who rents property, like I've done in the past few years, I've learned a lot, but I've got more to learn. I have Kim Coffey with me, and she's with Town and Country right here in our wonderful Greenwood, South Carolina. Kim, thank you so much for being on the show with me today. Just some questions. First of all, what exactly do you guys do?
We manage rental properties, commercial properties, apartment complexes, single family homes, duplexes, anything that you have, we can do. I also manage a car detail place, so works on cars. So anything that you have that you want to rent out, we have it.
Oh, that sounds awesome. So let me ask you a question, because I'm a property owner right now. I wish I had known you, because I'm just telling you, and let's talk about the things property owners should not do, okay? First thing I did was ran an ad through Facebook Marketplace. Oh my goodness, Kim, I ran through so many issues. I really feel the thugs were seeking me out when I was doing this. How can people benefit from actually using Town and Country?
Well, we do a background and a credit check, and we have all of our applicants that fill the application out. It has to be over 18. They have to have a certain credit score, no felonies, nothing in their background check, and everyone's credit score has to be at the same level, 575 or higher, or if it's in between that, we will do a double deposit. So we do all the legwork on making sure that they are the right fit.
Well, you know where to go because I had no clue, and people sometimes would give me a sob story and I would fall for it. And I put a lot of emotion into it. Of course, I'm older now. I don't feel like I did before. But how can you actually do a background check, be friendly at the same time, but not put so much of your emotion into it?
You got to learn to turn that off. You can have emotion for some of your tenants and stuff that come in. You may want to work with them, but the most you can do is say, hey, we work for you, but we also work for the owner. So to protect the owner, we would have to charge you a double deposit, which is going to help you if anything was to ever happen. At least you have that double deposit in there to help you for any mishap that may happen. When they hear that, they'll either say no or they'll go. So if they say no, you know they weren't there for the right reason. But if they say yes, I can pay that, you are helping them out.
Now, I know you're local to the Greenwood area, but I wanted to ask you another question because this show actually goes all over the United States through Abundant Television, which is found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire, and I'm really promoting Greenwood, South Carolina right now. So I want you to reach out to people who are in other states, and I'll give you a good example. So I was living in Alabama, and I've also lived in Charlotte, North Carolina, and those are they're on two different planets when it comes to the cost of rental property as well as what a deposit would be. So would you say Greenwood, South Carolina is somewhere in the middle of those two?
Yes, we're not as high as what Greenville is, so we're at that stage where we're affordable, but we're trying to get up to that. We do have some owners. I have an owner that lives in California, so it's a certain time that I can call her and talk about what's going on and issues in her house and stuff. But we do have companies in Anderson, Simpsonville, Columbia, where we have rentals also. Okay,
well, let me ask you another question. And this pertains to the rental that you guys do have available. So is it mainly apartments? Could it be houses?
Yes, single-family homes. We have quite a few of those. Somebody that just doesn't want to sell their home, they want to keep a hold on to it, not ready to get rid of it, but they're moving. So they'll come to us and say, can you rent this for me? We'll rent it up until the time that they want to come back in. I had a owner that was going overseas for over a year, so she rented her home out. And with that, we let the tenant know that's going there, that it's only going to be a year's lease. She came back to the States. The tenant moved out. Everything was perfect. She came back, stayed here for a couple of months, and decided she wanted to go back overseas again. So we're now renting her home out again for her.
Well, I can say that would be an advantage too. Let's say I live in Florida, but I don't like to be there in the summertime because it's too hot. Could I do something like that? Maybe go to Florida during the winter months and stay in my home in the summer months?
Yeah, we have some people that look for short-term leases. The shortest that we like to do is 6 months. So that works out for some. We had a condo down on the lake. They wanted to do short-term rental so they could be back here during the summer. So we rented it out for the winter, and then they came back during the summer.
Oh, that works great. Okay, so let me ask you another question, and this pertains to like an Airbnb or maybe Vrbo. Do you do anything like that just for the weekends for folks?
No, that's something that's harder for us to do because we couldn't keep up with as many people coming in and out. That's going to be more of somebody that has the time to sit on that one property and make the arrangements week in, week out. Ours is, like I said, the lowest we'll do is 6 months.
Let's talk about pets. Okay, well, some people don't mind pets in the house, especially if you don't have carpet. Some do. I totally get that idea too. So how is that brought up front so the tenant knows what those rules are?
When we advertise, we always ask the owner if they approve of pets. Some will say yes, some will say no. So when we do our advertising and putting it on our website and it gets out there on all other rental rental websites, it will say no pets allowed. The only thing we cannot do is deny anybody that has a service or, animal that they have the paperwork for.
Okay, now somebody's going to try it, this. Somebody's going to pretend it's a service dog. What would you say to that person?
We have to have something on letterhead from the doctor's office stating that it is a service animal or emotional support animal, and we have to have that on file.
Okay. Yeah.
But they do know if they do any damage after they moved out that they will be charged for that. But we can't charge them a deposit fee or anything else that we do for regular houses that are allowed to have pets.
Okay, let me ask you another question, and this pertains to deposits. So when I was in my much younger days, I was about 25 years old, I did have 3 apartments, and it was all in one house. and everyone had their privacy. I couldn't help the upstairs person making a lot of noise. But let me ask you about deposits. So how does that work? Because I would feel sorry for people to not charge a deposit. It's a must, though, isn't it?
Yes, they have to pay their deposit. That's the first thing that we do when we do our lease and they're approved. We tell them they have to go ahead and pay the deposit. That holds the unit for 2 weeks, and within that 2 weeks, they have to be ready to take over possession of that unit. So a deposit is mandatory. Some think it's a last month rent. No, it's there for the deposit to whenever they move out. If there's any damages, that deposit's there to help take care of that.
Okay, another question for you. This pertains again to the deposit.
Okay, we had to cut it off right there. I just wanted to tell you, get in contact with Kim. We'll be back in just a few minutes after the commercial break, which is coming up in just a couple of minutes. But I have her information, Town and Country. And let me tell you about Kim. She's on the side of everybody. Okay, so she's going to help you all out. But you can find her, and this is her direct number, 864-388-4005. That's area code 864-388-4005. She will look out for you, and she's also going to look out for the person who owns the property as well. Like I said, we lucked up. I went through, didn't know Kim at this time when we actually rented the property out that's adjacent to our land, to our home. And we wound up finding some fabulous folks, and they are absolutely great. But I suggest, to save a lot of headache, we went through Craigslist, and we also went through the Facebook marketplace. And I'm just telling you, I was inundated by folks that didn't speak English. I don't know where in the world they were, but I could sense there were people who were going to try to scam me somehow. And because one guy even asked me what about my bank account. I went on ahead and blocked that person, by the way. But anyway, we're going to go into a commercial break, and we'll be right back in just a few minutes with more information from Kim.
Twin City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you.
At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant.
Good afternoon, Sunshine. Your Realtor Moment is brought to you by Jenny Ferguson with Keller Williams of Greenwood, helping families buy and sell with confidence right here in the Lakelands. Now, if you're thinking about selling, don't automatically start renovating. Many sellers overspend on updates buyers don't even value. So before you touch a thing, talk with your local market expert who knows exactly what buyers are looking for right now. Jenny can help you price it,
Prep it smart and market it professionally across multiple platforms. For a free consultation, call Jenny Ferguson today and let your next move be your best move. Thank you so much for watching your Realtor Moment, brought to you by Jenny Ferguson with Keller Williams of Greenwood, helping families buy and sell with confidence right here in the Lakelands. Have a super duper awesome blessed day. Good afternoon, Sunshine. Medical Minute brought to you by Dr. Chuck with Lakelands Chiropractic, where an ounce of prevention is worth what? A pound of cure. So what is the Beamer? Okay, now the Beamer uses very gentle pulse to electromagnetic signals. This will stimulate healthy muscles and it supports the temporary blood flow. Now let's talk Beamer and circulation support. Now the Beamer gently supports natural circulation in healthy muscles. Now that's what I call natural health. Thank you so much for watching your Medical Minute, brought to you by Dr. Chuck. You know who he's with. He's with Lakelands Chiropractic, where an ounce of prevention is worth what? A pound of cure. I hope you have a super duper awesome rest of the afternoon. You take care. Okay, we're back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge television, radio, and podcast talk show. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, and beginning at 2 p.m. And I'm always glad to be part of your world. I'm glad you're part of mine. Another thing I wanted to mention to you, if you're at work, I don't want you to get into trouble, okay? So you can always go back and watch our shows and go up to the search area. And if you're looking for, say, Kim, you'd like to see that episode again, type in Donna Thiesel and also Town and Country with Kim Coffey. And you'll be, and by the way, her name is spelled Coffey, so you can find her that way as well. Continue sending email. I love them. Donna@donnasedge.com. Donna@donnasedge.com. Let's go into another episode, and we'll be talking with Kim and some more hot questions out there for you. Right here she is. And this is about rent. Okay. How can I know, is that left up to the client, or do you choose what the rent amount would be? Because I might charge not enough and, cheat my own self.
We both talk with the owner. We go and look at the property. We assess the area, and then we'll suggest, let's try it at this. If the owner wants to try it at a certain amount, say owner wants to try $2,000. And we may not think, okay, this area, we're not going to get that. We'll tell them, well, we're going to run it, for that. Let's do it for a couple of weeks. If it doesn't move, then let's drop it a little bit, maybe $20. Sometimes just dropping the rent $20 to $30, you'll be amazed at. People will jump on that. They'll say, oh, they went down. Let's go ahead and get it.
And I'm sure you also have to educate folks. Let's say I'm living in Alabama and then move back here. Rent is much lower in Alabama than it is here. But then again, let's say my friend who lives in New York comes down this area. She may charge way too much. You've got to find a dividing line there somewhere.
Yeah, it's hard to find that. I've seen some of the rent in New York and was like, for that is high. We do try to make sure that we get it at a cap to where we know we're not going to get any more for a certain apartment. You look at the new apartments coming in and what they have to offer, and you have to stress that, with your owners too. If you want to keep up with the Joneses, you've got to do what the Joneses are doing. So if you have an older apartment, you've got to look at, if you're going to start jumping the rent up to what new apartments are getting, you're going to get a lot of pullback from the tenants saying, well, I need this updated and I need this updated. So it's depending if you want to keep a good renter in there and they're paying on time and no complaints.
Let's go.
Keep their rent down. But if you're going to jump them up $200-$300, expect pushback and saying, I need some repairs done.
Oh, that's hard to do. Now, what about someone who's lived in a place for, say, 20 years? And the price of living has went way up since 20 years ago. How can you do this in a justified way?
It's hard. You have to do it a little at a time. Our motto is we won't go up on a rent more than $50, in a year. I had a lady that just moved out and been in that house for over 20 some years, and you would think she'd only been there a year. That's how clean the house was. And she was a very good tenant. The owner was glad to have her there and did not raise her rent.
No, I wouldn't either. So, that person's pure gold.
So sometimes payments on time and no complaints, no nothing is better than to try to get top dollar.
Absolutely it is. Okay, now let's go on the end of the tenant right here, because that everybody's got to be treated fair in this situation. Do you sometimes feel like you are put in the middle?
At times we are. We have to try to, sometimes we will have to talk to an owner and say, hey, look, let's don't do this. And you defend. I've been in that situation where I've defended a tenant to an owner and then have to defend the owner to the tenant on what situations are going. You just got to feel the situation out and be able to tell the difference and where you're doing. I'm here to work for the owner, but I'm also here to protect the tenant too.
Absolutely. So let's be fair to everybody. Let's say a tenant, things are being run down right now. A refrigerator needs to be replaced. Maybe it just quit working. So how do you get that situation fixed?
We will send our maintenance person out there. If they call me and say, look, this refrigerator's from day one, it's on its last leg, it needs to be replaced. I'll call my owner and say, look, we've done all we can with this refrigerator. It's not lasting. We need to go ahead and put a new one in there. 9 out of 10, they're going to tell you, go ahead and put another one in there for them.
Well, what appliances are usually included in a rental?
Most of the time you're going to see your, if it has a dishwasher, stove, and refrigerator. We don't say don't put the countertop microwave in because you're going to be replacing that every couple of months.
Right. They're so cheap now, they're disposables.
Yeah. So my 1 bedrooms, my owner is putting washing machines and dryers in those because it's a 1 bedroom. You're not going to have like a 3 bedroom or 4 bedroom house where it's going to be full and the washer and dryer is going to be used a lot more. It's a lot more wear and tear on than one person living in. So I would say washer and dryers are not going to be in a lot of your rentals, but your main appliances will. You do have some owners that don't have any appliances in there. They're just say, we're here to require heat and water.
There you go. What are some of the most, what square footages are people looking for right now?
A lot that like to have over 1,000, but the 1 bedrooms, you're not going to get that. You get anywhere from 7 to 9 on a 1 bedroom apartment, which is good. I mean, if they had a big closet for me and my clothes, I'd be fine.
Might even use a spare bedroom for one in some places. Okay, so is there a counter on how many children you can have in a house, or is there such a thing as that?
There is. By state law, on rental properties, is only 2 people per room. So if you have a 3-bedroom house, the most that you can have in there is 6. Sometimes you'll find that they'll sneak another person in there, but by law, we only can have 2 per room.
Well, in today's climate, sometimes people are taking care of their parents now. Just different situations like that. Could something be worked out if it were, say, an elderly parent not ready for a nursing home?
Yes, as long as a tenant will come and talk to you and let you know the situation, we'll work with them and say, okay, we're going to work with you on this. We're not going to, you got a kid that's going to double up in another room and then you're going to put your mom in there. So as long as everybody is sleeping, problem with it.
Okay, now let's talk colors of a room. Okay, I like red, I really do. But when we put the house in Alabama for sale, we had everything just painted a neutral color. But now, sometimes do clients say we don't want anything painted in this room? Leave it neutral?
Well, most of the apartments or houses are pretty much neutral color. You will have some clients come in and ask, will they mind if I paint? I always call the owner and ask, do you mind if they paint the room? The owners will say yes, as long as when they move out, they put it back to a neutral color. Because if not, then they're paying to have that neutral color. But a lot of them will call, and it would just say, I just want to do a neutral color where they had a wild color in there. And they'll say fine. As long as it's in something that's going to upgrade the property, instead of them having to come in and change it once they leave, they're pretty good at working with them.
Well, let me ask, this is an important question. So let's just say someone does, paint the, sky blue, that's a weird color blue or totally red. Would that be included in the deposit or would that be a separate?
That would come out of the deposit because they didn't ask permission to paint it and everything, because we do take pictures right before they move in. So we do have what each room looked like before they moved in. So we compare that to when they move out. So we can tell where there was holes, where there wasn't holes. We always tell them to write down their inspection sheet. If they find a scratch on the floor, if they find a nick in the wall, to write it down and keep it for their protection, just as we take pictures for our protection. So if you do find out that they have painted the color, you can take that off their deposit.
Oh, cell phones are wonderful. I mean, you can take good, clear pictures nowadays.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go ahead and ask just a little bit, dig just a little bit deeper. And this is coming actually for the benefit possibly of both the tenant and the person. So, okay, so let's just say someone has said, I would like a rent to own type situation. Do you guys handle those as well?
No, we do not do that. That again has to be set through a lawyer and done that way, and payments come through here. So the rent to owns would have to be done through them, the tenant and the owner, through a lawyer.
I see. Okay, so let's talk about references, okay? Because I've been there before, where somebody would give me like three of their best friends for the reference. Of course, they're going to say nice thing about their friends. How can you know whether it's a good reference or not?
We do the rental reference of places that they've rented before.
Okay.
Also, we're a member of Greenwood PO, which is a website for rental properties.
Oh, good.
That if they've had a problem tenant that left without paying or done a significant amount of damage, before we run someone's application, we check on there first. So it's not only protecting us, it's protecting other rental companies around here. If they're listed on there and they want to rent from us, our first goal is you need to go back to the other rental property and pay your bill there. Then we'll discuss renting here. But until that's taken care of and removed off of that, that's our very first step. So we're not only looking out for ourselves, but we are looking out for other rental agencies around here.
This is kind of dual purpose question too. So how soon do you get people into homes?
We can get them in as same day, depending on how fast their background and credit check comes.
But typically, what is it?
It's like 24 hours.
Okay, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad at all.
Some want to hold it for 2 weeks, but most of them want to move in right away.
There you go. You guys have a website where a lot of this can be done online.
Oh, yes. All of our website is tcpropertysc.com. You can see everything that we have for rent from here to Anderson to Simpsonville, Waterloo, and you can apply and see the pictures there.
That's wonderful. So you just heard from Kim Coffey, and she's with Town and Country. They are a property management company. So whether you are living anywhere close by this area, or you're looking and you're from another part of the country or the world, Kim is the person you really need to speak with about property, which is going to be on your side, and she'll be the person right smack dab in the middle. She'll also look out for the people who own the property. Thank you so much for watching. Continue sending email, Donna@donnasedge.com. That's Donna at donnasedge.com. You can always find us 2 p.m. on the Eastern time zone. If you would like, you're at work and I don't want you in trouble. You can also find us another way. If you would like to watch on facebook.com/DFiesel, you can do that as well. Again, thank you so much for watching. Can't wait to see you next time. Keep Kim in mind.
Lowe's knows that the projects you build in spring are the ones you can't wait to share. It's why we make sure you have our best deals with My Lowe's Rewards, and that you get help from people who've
been there,
done that.
Try this.
This spring, we'll help you build something rewarding.
Hey, Stan.
What's up?
I made you something.
Oh, thank you.
And I got something for you. You grew these?
Of course.
Lowe's knows how to help you spring.
At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Donna's Designs offers a line of handmade memorial, wedding, and keepsake jewelry that launched back in 1970. I'm a self-trained jewelry designer, and I will work closely with you to create unique designs you can love and treasure for years to come. Whether that be flowers that were used in a funeral arrangement or stones you found on the beach at a memorable trip, call me at 256-659-4319 and let's think of the possibilities.